morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show that asks the question that matters: are these movies worth their ticket price? Also, or in another word, are they worth your hard-earned time and money? So, I am Jake, co-host, and sitting across the way with me as always, co-host extraordinaire, and the only man who claims to be the inspiration for the song A Midnight Train to Georgia.
I have no idea what that means.
You don't know the song Midnight Train to Georgia?
No.
Last Night in the Pips? Midnight Train to Georgia!
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm just trying to ruin your joke.
Well, joke's on you. That joke was ruined when I wrote it down. Like I need your help ruining my jokes.
How is your evening going?
I'm not looking forward to work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I'm never looking forward to work. Let's just do this all day.
I'm trying. And that's why we need your listens, your follows, your Patreon support.
Yeah, if you're not following the show, please follow the show. You'll help us out immensely.
It would help us out immensely. And then create like 6-7 fake accounts and follow us on those. You know what? We already know you have those accounts, so you can post multiple comments on videos and whatever. Use those multiple accounts to follow the channel.
Yeah, just play our episode, put it on repeat, and go to bed.
Just, put it on mute and take a little nap.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah. We're not judging.
No, not at all.
But what we are doing is talking about The Incredibles.
Was this 2004?
Good job. This is 2004.
20 years.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Now, remember when Incredibles 2 came out?
Yeah, like 2 years ago?
2018.
Was it 2018?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Damn. Yeah, I was watching a video about The Incredibles, and they would cut from Incredibles 1 to Incredibles 2. Watching The Incredibles, I was like, man, the animation is pretty good, actually. But then when I saw it next to The Incredibles 2, I was like, oh, big difference. Big difference.
Well, yeah, but again, there's like 16 years apart.
Yeah. But
apparently Brad Bird makes his movies on his time.
The animation still holds up, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really well.
But see, okay, I guess, well, we're not there yet. We're not there in animation yet. Released in 2004, written by Brad Bird, directed by Brad Bird, starring Craig T. Nelson, Holly Hunter, and Samuel L. Jackson.
Ah, it's Sam Jackson. I love Sam Jackson.
Now, I do think this starring list has the most middle initials I've ever written down before. Why? I like how that popped you. That was
I don't know why, but it took me a minute because I'm like, wait a minute, what's he talking about? Oh yeah, okay.
Now I just wish it was like Holly M. Hunter or something. Really,
Let's just make it.
Brad
Holly H. Hunter.
Brad B. Bird.
There we go. Let's do it.
All right. Budget estimated $92 million to make, with a worldwide gross $631.6 million. Awards. Brings notebook closer to face because writing is small. 69 wins with an additional 56 nominations. 2 Oscar wins. Best sound editing, best animated feature film, and number 232 on the IMDb top 250. This movie got merit.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the Oscars having a animated film category. I feel like if it's good enough, it should just be in Best Picture category.
Yeah, but wasn't this category created because they wanted to give Toy Story?
Oh, that I'm not sure.
Because Toy Story, original Toy Story, the first ever 100% computer animated film, which actually, if you watch it, still holds up.
Oh, yeah.
It's Toy Story. It's a bona fide classic. Because weren't they like, oh shit, now this is a thing. We gotta like do something.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they did it. I feel like it's going to hold back a film that's like Into the Spider-Verse could have legitimately been a Best Picture nominee.
And I've heard that argument from others too, that the inclusion of the category holds back. It creates a ceiling.
Yeah.
For how far these, I guess, the animated films can go.
And maybe it could be nominated for Best Animated and still get a Best Picture nomination.
See, I'm okay with that.
I am too. But I don't think they ever would. I think they're like, oh, they already have their category.
They have a category. But at the same time, I don't know. So, like, I agree with this, with like your argument. Again, it's an argument I've heard in the past too, and I agree with it. But at the same time, how many years go by with and there not be an animated film worthy of that kind of nomination? So it's nice that this category exists. So no matter what, the hard work that goes into the animated films will still get a nod regardless. It's kind of the same idea behind Best Foreign Film category.
Yeah.
Because Godzilla Minus One could legitimately win Best Film, but it won Best Foreign Film, right? So you kind of have this, but it takes a movie as magnificent as Godzilla Minus One or Into the Spider-Verse or, for animated, whatever. It takes one mold-breaking, groundbreaking, game-changing movie for this debate to come up. So is it fair to almost penalize everyone else and take these categories away in hopes for our once-a-decade champion to come around to get a nod?
Good point.
I would be more... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I just hope that if something does come along that is worthy of becoming a Best Picture nomination as animated, they don't just overlook it. But I just have a feeling that's what's going to happen.
Agreed. I would be more inclined to vote for letting a movie that's nominated for Best Animated or Best Foreign also be nominated for Best Overall Picture.
Yeah, because I think Godzilla Minus One should be nominated for Best Picture.
I agree. And Into the Spider-Verse for its,
it should be able to get both categories.
Should be able to get both.
Yeah.
So I would rather allow these films to be included in both than one of the nominations taken away, or one of the awards taken away.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I don't know.
It's nice to see one every year.
Yeah,
we get some nominations,
because let's face it, not every year is there a foreign film or an animated film that's genuinely worth Best Picture, right?
I agree with that.
So when you see one that is, and it doesn't, it gets overlooked because it has a category that sucks. But I don't want to ruin the chance for everyone else to win a category by getting rid of the category. It's not like the Olympics where we could get rid of like half of the events because they don't matter. Fucking walking.
They have walking?
Like the speed walking in the Olympics, and
they have speed walking in the Olympics.
Get on your Google machine, look that up real quick. God, Olympic speed walk. That's a thing.
Okay,
fucking walking. Yeah, get rid of that garbage. But no, I'm in the camp of keeping Best Animated Feature, keeping Best Foreign Film. But if something is truly deserving, it should still be able to be nominated for Best Overall Picture.
What's your history with the film?
I actually, I have a surprisingly large amount of history with this movie, despite not having watched it until a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I never saw it in theaters, so I missed it when it came out. I never went out of my way to see it. I do think I had seen it before I had kids, but it would have been like into the school year, teachers don't care, they're just putting a movie, you know what I mean? But even that doesn't sound right. So I'm not even sure if I have. I don't know, but I have two small children. One of them is a toddler. And toddlers, when they like a movie, you will watch that movie.
Yeah.
Until that movie ceases to exist in the known universe or you die.
Yeah. The one for me was Frozen.
Cars. My toddler, she loves the Cars franchise, and I don't know why. Cars suck. That's a bad movie.
You don't like the first Cars?
No.
Maybe it's because you watched it too many times.
No, I've never liked Cars.
Really? I like Cars.
No, Cars sucks.
I had never watched
The
2
more you
and
watch it,
3 is
you
meh.
realize that this movie sucks. Its plot sucks. Its character sucks. This movie sucks. But we're not talking about Cars. We're talking about one of her other favorite movies that we watch less frequently than Cars because I breathe less frequently than I watch the movie Cars. We're talking about The Incredibles. So no, within the last couple years, I have seen this movie easily into the double digits. Yes. Which is all the more surprising when you pulled it for the hat and I didn't connect those dots right away. You were like, The Incredible. I was like, huh?
You're like, I already watched this today.
Real talk, I may have. They all run together after a while.
That's funny. Oh.
But at least it's not Cars. It's Cars. And at least it's not Finding Nemo. God, that movie sucks.
I love Finding Nemo.
You would!
I love that movie.
Why?
It's so good.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Dory is the most insufferable character.
A little bit of her goes a long way, so it's good that she's in the supporting character role. The whole Finding Dory movie, no thank you.
No, that sucks too.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that.
Don't worry, I've seen it several times. As I just stare my crazy eyes at you. No, Finding Nemo sucks. If you're in the comments, let me know. I'll let you know you suck. If you're also in the comments, you're going to see a link down there. Hopefully you do. We're ironing out details. Click that link and it will take you to a page where you can grab and print out if you want or whatever. We have multiple ticket price bingo boards ready for you guys to play along as the show goes. And let us know in the comments if you get bingo, because we'll celebrate that. But if you like Cars or Finding Nemo, I will tell you you suck. You'll be like, oh, my comment has a reply. Oh, Jake's telling me I suck. Unfollow. And I don't care. What are you laughing at?
Oh. So my history with this movie. I am a big fan of the animation. I've seen almost every Pixar movie in the theater. I didn't see Bug's Life in the theater.
I forgot about A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
And I've watched that one fairly recently. I think that's the problem, is I've watched all these so recently. Pixar just has like this block in my mind or I'll freak out.
But there was a point with Pixar, like everything they would put out was gold. They did not have a miss until I think Cars 2.
Oh yeah, they were just printing money.
Yeah. And then they had this one come out, and this was the first Pixar movie that focused on humans. And it was also the very first PG Pixar movie. So I was a little intrigued. So I went to the theater, watched it, enjoyed the shit out of it. And it's been in my collection ever since.
Collection? Just watch on Disney Plus.
Fuck Disney Plus.
All right, Grandpa, tell us about physical media.
No, fuck Disney Plus.
But how do you watch X-Men 97?
I don't.
Shame.
Fuck Disney Plus. They did away with password sharing, so I'm like, well, okay. See ya. I'm not gonna purchase your product. And shit, half the stuff on Disney Plus sucks anyway. Like almost all the new Star Wars shit was terrible. All the Marvel movie or TV shows that they put out was pretty much crap. So I was like, why am I paying this?
X-Men 97
No, thank
and
you.
The Incredibles.
Yeah, I have the copy.
Do you
so-
know how many times you can watch Cars in a day? Enough to get your money back. I promise you.
Yeah, but I have a copy of it, so I don't have to. anything coming
Physical
out.
media.
Hell yes. But to watch it for this show, I had a copy. I know I did. I looked in my Blu-ray collection. I could not find it. I was like, God, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't have it.
If only your collection was stored electronically in a
No.
central database that you could
Screw
look up with the
that.
press of a button.
No. Yeah, and they could delete with the press of a button, and there I am holding my dick. No, thank you.
Well, you'd be doing that anyway.
Fucking
Elastigirl, am I right, boys?
She had a booty on her, boy.
Why'd you say it like that?
Well, there's that part. That
You got real southern all of it. You had a booty on it, boy. What? God damn, that booty. That booty sent Tevis back in time 300 years.
What was I saying? I
The
don't even
redcoats
know.
are coming.
Jesus.
Booty.
Moving on.
That was getting a little Hank Hill, wasn't it?
A little bit.
God damn it, Bobby.
Bobby got the booty.
Ew. Bobby got the booty. What does that mean? Why are you talking about Bobby Hill's booty? What is the matter with you? Woo, we're off to a rip-roaring start, everybody.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let's dive in.
Elastigirl's booty.
Let's dive into
Face
Elastigirl's booty.
You know, theoretically, with her powers, there would be a level of expand. Never mind. There would be a certain amount of exploration one could achieve.
I never thought of it that way. Yeah. Okay.
I can see now you can't stop thinking about it.
No, I can't. This movie is taking on a whole new meaning for me now. Okay.
How do you think she's able to keep up with Mr. Incredible?
That's true. Yeah, he's got some super strength, so I'm sure he's
2 words. Super penis. All right. So goddamn, we're stupid. You ever just take a moment to realize how dumb we are? You know, I had a listener to the show come up to me the other day, which was super weird. They're like, man, they were telling me they were listening to the show, and they're like, you and Tevis argue a lot. I went, yeah, that's the point of the show. But it also got me thinking, man, we're dumb.
and that's the point of the show,
And
too.
that's the point of the show. And yet here we are striving to be the most real and the most credible film critic sources on the internet. And if that day comes, we've hit, as a society around the globe, we've hit new lows. All right, so the movie opens with the young version of our 3 primary heroes. Well, the 3 adult heroes. That sounds weird. The 3 grown-ups that are also superheroes in the movie. I am not saying they're adult heroes in a pornographic sense, which is what it sounded like when I said adult heroes. When it was emphasized like that, it sounded dirty. It's not. Okay.
Rewind.
We have Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone in their young adult years as superheroes being interviewed by the local news about what it's like being a superhero.
I like this intro a lot. It feels like an outtake, almost.
Which Pixar was known for doing back in the day. They need to bring that back.
They do need to bring
the best part of A Bug's Life are the outtakes at the end.
Yeah, Bug's Life's not good.
It's not bad. It's not great.
No. But I love the grainy footage that they have of it, and it's just fun. It's kind of an odd way to open a superhero movie.
I like how Frozone is just like, man, Supergirl's always trying to be telling you about their secret identity. Look, I don't need to know about your mild-mannered whoever. You tell me you're just some super-duper lightning babe? Psh, that's enough for me.
I want a Frozone movie.
There was rumors and talk about one for a long time, but I doubt we get one. But there was talk about one for a long time.
They need to get that shit going.
Brad Bird likes to wait roughly 15 years between movies, all right? When did Iron Giant come out?
Oh, I don't know.
He
98?
will not be rushed. But then while they're interviewing, we also see their antics. Not antics, their quicks around the city. As we see Mr. Incredible, he keeps looking at his watch and he's saying, there's always some kind of crime or some kind of incident. You know, there was a bank robbery and this woman eats her cat out of a tree and this guy is trying to commit suicide by jumping and blah, 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 blah. There's always something going on.
This city is just overran with
crime.
Fucking crime. Every time
Gotham.
That's exactly what I have in my notes. It's like, God, every time he turns around, there's cop cars are getting shot at, helicopters are flying by, shooting.
Yeah. And it's not like he's the only superhero. This city is full. Okay. So not only does
this is the golden age.
Yeah, this is the golden age of superheroes. So not only does this city have the three main heroes that we've met, Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, Frozone, there's Gazer Beam. There's, they mention like a handful by name.
Yeah.
Like this city has dozens of heroes, presumably all helping fight crime and shit. And every time you turn around, something is going on.
Yeah, because he, first of all, they have a suicide jumper in a
kids movie.
Oof. So that's a little dark there. But
EG.
Yeah. So he jumps and he saves this suicide jumper and crashes through the window of this building. And what's the villain's name? Bon Voyage?
Bon Voyage, which I love that, by the way. Too. I'm a big fan of Bon Voyage.
It just happens to be in there robbing this place. It's like, my God, he could throw a stick and hit somebody and committing
hit a crime. And with his super strength, probably kill him.
Yeah, true.
I have a comment about killing, but that's later. We're getting there.
Okay.
So all this is going on, but ultimately, he even crosses paths with Frozone, who is in the middle of fighting or doing his own superhero deeds.
Chasing a helicopter.
So we have now two superheroes crossing paths, doing their own separate superhero, and they're just like, hey, Bob. Hey, Frozone, what up, man?
It's like their commute to work.
He's like, hey, aren't you going to be late? It's fine. I got time. All right, see you there. Like, yeah, just like they cross paths on the subway because they're just doing their own shit.
Crazy.
Then he crossed paths with Elastigirl, also in the middle of fighting crime.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
And he is obsessed with being a superhero.
Mr. Incredible?
Yes.
Well, yeah, but he's Mr. Incredible. Okay, wait, see though, is he obsessed with it or does he just love his job?
Oh, you find out later in the movie, like he is obsessed with it.
I guess I'm thinking now to his office.
Yeah.
But then again, like I've hung accolades, like my wife and dad put a shadow box together for me of my book and it's proudly displayed in the house and there's stuff like that. So like, I get it.
Yeah, but it's to the point where he's almost late for his wedding. Like he would almost rather be doing superhero shit.
Yeah, but so was his best man and his bride.
They were there on time.
So was he.
Barely.
Barely counts. I'm sorry. I clock in for work at 7 o'clock. If I arrive at 7 o'clock, I'm on time. If you want me to be there at 6:50, schedule me to arrive at 6:50.
Yeah, that's your job, not the wedding that you're going to have to the woman you love.
The wedding at 6:50, schedule it for 6:50.
So it's Elastigirl's fault.
Yes. Or presumably the super wedding planner they had. I don't know.
Probably a super too, yeah.
Planogram, I don't know.
Planogram. Boo.
I didn't have time to workshop it.
When you say to yourself, that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Eat my
That
ass.
sounds like a DC villain. Like,
yeah, Green Lantern definitely fights Planogram.
Calendar Man.
Fucking Calendar Man. God, I hate DC. I just do. But we're not talking about DC. We're talking about The Incredibles. So we find out that Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl are getting married. But then we find out that the superheroes are being sued because the suicide jumper Mr. Incredible saved was greatly injured in the rescue and also, in fact, still alive. And the argument was he did not ask to be saved.
Yeah, he said, you didn't save my life. You ruined my death. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's not wrong, I guess.
No. And I could definitely see that happening if this was a real life situation.
Oh, yeah. People would try to sue superheroes.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Which also is ridiculous because if you're a rational adult, you know superheroes don't have money. Supervillains are the ones that have money. Okay, so what? You've got Batman. You've got Iron Man. Name a hero with money. Real. I'm going to sue and get your fortune money.
Black Adam's Hawkman.
He was rich?
Yeah. Did you see that mansion that he was in and his plane came up out of the garden like fucking...
Like the X-Men?
The X-Men, yeah.
Oh, I guess Xavier. There's one.
Yeah.
No, I don't think... I thought that was a government building. I don't think that's... I don't think that was Hawkman. Wait, is Hawkman rich? I don't know anything about Hawkman, and I'm also pretty sure Hawkman was a woman. But they
didn't either. They just like, we'll just steal from X-Men.
Wasn't Hawkman a woman?
And there's two versions. There's a man and a woman. Hawkman, Hawkwoman.
Wait. There are two versions. Like it's the same character, but sometimes it's a man, sometimes it's like Captain Marvel, where it's like there was Marvel, a dude, but then it became.
No, there's two different ones. One's Hawkman, one's Hawkwoman.
How many people have Hawk powers? Are they related to the Vulture? Because he has Vulture powers. Wait, where does the Penguin come into? Why are there so many avian characters, and are they related? There's the Black Canary, I think, is someone.
Yeah. And Hawkeye, he's not bird-like.
No,
he's not bird-like.
He's just but I'm pretty sure he shows up at the family reunion as a cousin.
Probably.
Well, the bird heroes and villains and all the bird people show up. Now, is Scarecrow their arch nemesis? Wait a minute. Hear me out. I feel like the plot writes itself. What are we talking about?
The Incredibles.
Damn it, how did we get here?
I don't really know.
So they sue the heroes, the government, but the superheroes are essentially deemed illegal. It's vigilantism. Government pays out all these settlements, and the superheroes have to go into hiding. Which then smash cuts to mundane family life as Bob went from being sexy man of the world superhero to insurance salesman. He's middle-aged, he's overweight, and he hates his job. And I really thought I was looking at myself. So that's a separate issue.
Yeah, he hates his job. I think he kind of hates his life a little bit.
He hates his life, yeah.
Did you notice that the old woman that he's helping in his office was also the old woman that he helps with the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a cool little touch.
Mm-hmm. But she wouldn't know because they have the mask.
Yeah.
Also, these worthless, the Incredible Universe masks.
Terrible.
At least Frozone is a full like helmet visor thing and it works. But you know what? Superman just took his glasses off.
Yeah.
That also glasses he didn't need.
Yeah, it works for this particular kind of universe.
Yeah, because they set it up. And also, we're used to this idea of just like superheroes wear masks. It's very Lone Ranger-y. It's very, yeah.
I got a legitimate laugh out of this in the movie Green Lantern, where Hal Jordan shows up on, I can't remember her name, but he knows her. He shows up on her?
He shows up on her
balcony.
Oh, sure.
And she comes out and she's talking to him and she looks at him. He's got the mask on, that shitty little mask that just covers his eyes.
That Green Lantern wears.
Yeah. And she's like, Hal? And he's like, oh, how'd you know it was me? It's like, what? You didn't think I was going to recognize you because I couldn't see your cheekbones? She's like, I've seen you naked, for Christ's sake. That gave me a good chuckle.
Hal?
Miss.
Hal? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, Hal!
How did you know it was me?
What do you mean? I've known you my whole life. I've seen you naked. You don't think I would recognize you because I can't see your cheekbones? What is this? Why is your skin green? Why are you glowing? What the hell is with that mask?
Came with the outfit. Cool, huh?
Well, then you're the only one that got any amount of entertainment from the Green Lantern movie.
I legitimately like it.
Oh my
it's
God.
a terrible
Shut
movie,
up.
but I like it.
Get out.
I had fun with it.
Shut up. Get out.
I would rather watch that over and over again than watch Black Adam one more time.
You know what? I've never seen it, but I would still take that because I have seen Black Adam. Sometimes you don't know the old expression, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. Sometimes I know the devil.
Yeah.
And its name is Lightning McQueen. And it's friends with Mater. And if I have to watch that movie one more time, I'm going to kill everyone.
It's short for Toe Mater.
I am one car's viewing short of becoming full supervillain. And you're going to be like, my God, all these people are strapped to a comically large explosive device and there's some man in a jumpsuit prancing around. Is that Jake? And it's just going to be me.
Where are we at?
Mr. Incredible hates his life.
Yes.
And so there's a tense family dinner because there's a lot of tension in the house because you have Bob hates his life. He's checked out at work and at home. The kids are kids, but they're kids who also have superpowers, which is another element of difficulty to deal with. And you've got Helen, who's trying to hold it together, but she needs help, and Bob's just gone. He's not there. And so we've got this tense family dinner as they really talk about what I think is a fairly accurate, believable portrayal of a family discussing problems. They're talking about their day. Dash is teasing his sister about liking Tony Reidinger at the table, and Violet starts talking about being misunderstood and being an outcast because she just wants to be normal and not have powers. Bob's just kind of sitting there like a lump because he hates everything. Like, this is a pretty relatable moment.
Yeah, I feel like they do the family dynamic really well throughout the whole movie. But yeah, especially in this part, because Bob, he's staring at the newspaper. I don't even know if he's really reading it. I think he's just
scanning it.
Yeah, he just wants to be somewhere else.
The modern day equivalent would be he would have his phone. He's just scrolling TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, just almost like an excuse or a reason to just not be present in the moment. Just something to while away the time.
I do like when he trying to cut the steak for the boy, and he's not really paying attention to what he's doing. He's trying to talk to his wife, and she's like, Bob, and he looks down and he cut through the plate.
Yeah, he's cutting through the table.
Yeah, he's like, oh God, now here, just have mine.
It's like, great, now I got to fix the plate. I got to pay for the car. Wait, what happened to the car? It's like, I don't want to talk about it,
I love that part with the car. He trips on a skateboard.
On a skateboard. So he comes home from work, gets out of his car, trips on a skateboard, but catches himself before he falls by grabbing the top of the car. But he's super strong. So there's just all of his fingers have just bent the metal roof of the car down. So now the door won't close. And
then he slams the car door and the window breaks. And then he gets all mad and he picks the car up over his head. And that's when the kid in the big wheel is like bright-eyed. He's got that bubble.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
he's got bubble pops. He's like, oh my God.
He's like, gotta go. Puts the car down, runs inside.
Super good. I love that.
But then Frozone comes by because he and Bob are going bowling.
Yeah, they are. Did you notice the front door of their house?
Probably not.
The doorknob
Okay.
is in the middle of the door.
Like a Hobbit house?
Kind of, yeah. I never noticed that until this viewing.
Now I'm going to have to,
I'm like,
whenever we watch it, I have to go back and look.
who the hell puts the doorknob there?
How does the doorknob work? If it seems like you're just making a lot of unnecessary mechanical extensions
Yeah, that's a
for the latch.
long ass latch. It's like half the door. I guess it kind of fits with the 50s futuristic design that they were going for, but
No, I didn't notice that though.
Yeah.
I
I never noticed it until this viewing. So
Yeah, but we find out that Bob and Frozone are not going bowling, like, because it's supposed to be Wednesday, their bowling night, but they spend their Wednesdays in a car in an alleyway listening to the police scanner so they can do vigilante shit. Because Bob cannot let it go. Even Frozone's like, he's like, hey, you want to stop a robbery? And he's like, no, I don't. You know what I'd like to do on our bowling night? Go bowling. That sounds fun.
Robbery. You want to catch a robber?
No. Tell you the truth, I'd rather go bowling. Look, what if we actually did what our wives think we're doing? Just to shake things up.
yeah, and Frozone's being tailed.
Yes. By Mirage. We never find out what her powers are.
I don't think she had powers.
Well, she insinuates that she's super. Trust me.
Okay,
She insinuates she's,
well, with that name, I'm like, yeah.
because she says she ends up having a conversation with Mr. Incredible, and she says not all the supers are gone. We're just hiding or working, whatever. But she clearly she's talking about supers, and then says we,
Okay.
representing
I
herself
must
as
not have caught
well.
that.
I don't know what her powers are other than whoring.
Super whores.
You call yourself whores?
Okay. Dang.
I'm sorry.
PG movie.
We don't see the whoring. It's implied.
Okay, that is true.
It's implied whoring.
implied. Okay.
Which can be done at a PG level, as is evident by The Incredibles.
So they have a fire breaks out?
Yes, there's a fire.
And
a fire.
So they save all the people from the fire, burst through the wall into a jewelry store.
Into a jewelry, which sets off the alarm.
The moment the police officer bursts in and points his gun at Frozone, and both of them, Bob and Frozone, have their arms up, and Frozone's like, I'm thirsty. And he just reaches over and gets that drink. That reminded me so much of Die Hard with a Vengeance when they're racing to the payphones.
Yeah.
And Samuel L. Jackson is in Die Hard with a Vengeance. And he's got his arms up because that subway cop was pointing his gun at him. And he's like, I have to answer this phone. And it's almost like shot for shot.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because they wrote that scene for Samuel L. Jackson as a direct homage to him being in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
That is freaking cool.
That actually is. You know why it seems so similar? Because it is. Because they went, oh yeah, we're just going to do this scene again.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I like how you caught that with no knowledge of that reference.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was just watching. I was like, wait a minute.
You have no idea who Marco Polo is, but you catch these references, damn it.
I wear polos all the time. What the hell?
I love going to the pool, playing games. Bob is ultimately fired from his job because he does what we all dream of doing and brutalizes his boss in a very physical, fisticuffsy fashion.
Inconceivable.
Yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah. He throws his boss through 4 walls.
Yeah.
That dude's dead.
I thought that, but he is in a full body cast, we see him later.
And he's blinking, so he's alive.
He's alive, but
no, he's dead.
A company is like a clock. All the cogs have to go together. So Bob is fired, and he's trying to figure out how to break this news to his wife, because he screwed up again. And you get and we learn through Agent Rick Dicker. I don't know why. But his name is Rick Dicker.
Okay.
What?
No, nothing.
His name is Rick Dicker.
Okay.
Why do you know? You're saying okay like you don't
No,
believe
I believe
me.
you.
I'm not wrong. His name is Agent Rick Dicker. His name, not Dick Ricker, because
That's weird.
His name is Rick Dicker.
Okay.
All right.
Agent Dicker.
Agent Dicker. He's erasing memories and paying people off, blah, blah, blah. But with his conversation with Bob, as we learned, Bob has screwed up like this before a few times.
I came across this information when I was doing some research for the movie. When Bob's in the office with his boss,
Yeah.
there's a memo on the desk, and I wrote it down. It's an employee memo,
Okay.
and it's basically letting them know that all the employees will be responsible for buying all of their office supplies. It states that their parking will be metered by the hour, and
Jesus.
that their electricity usage will be deducted from their paychecks. And then it concludes by saying that InsureCare has recorded its highest profits in years. I
feel that.
legitimately laughed out loud when I read that because man, that is spot on.
That is so true.
Yes.
God. Wait, I'm having a Bob moment. I hate my life.
Thought that was super funny. I had to bring it up.
Yep, I'm bummed out now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't have super strength. I'm just fat.
It reminded me. Oh. Okay. I used to work for this grocery store company.
Wait, is it the one we both worked at?
Yes.
Okay.
I was promoted to a corporate job, and about 3 days before I was scheduled to start this corporate position, they eliminated 500 plus corporate positions. One of them being my position. So I was stuck at the store. And then they laid off another probably 60 IT people. And then probably another 140, 150 some positions prior to the 500 that I was part of.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But then a month after the cuts, they put up on the bulletin board by the time clock our highest profit forever in the month of April. And they had the number put up there. I'm like, wow, what a kick in the balls.
And you didn't just jump out the window.
I thought about it for a minute, taking that thing off of the wall and then jumping out of the window with it.
So you could land on it.
Yeah. But yeah, when I read that about the InsureCare thing, I was like, oh yeah, I remember.
I worked there.
Yeah. They also have a grocery store, apparently.
The Insure shop.
Screw your customers over and your employees over.
Yep.
Anyway.
That sounds about right.
Sorry. That was a
Are you okay?
little moment.
I'm glad we can just get the couch set up. You can unload these burdens. That's what we're here for.
I feel like Bob now. We're both Bob.
So Bob is fired. He's trying to figure out how to break the news. There was no segue there. I had nothing.
Oh, no, I didn't either.
I'm just trying to get back on
Okay.
track. Otherwise, we're both going to spiral to a pit of depression. And it's going to be us weeping about our lives.
And then when I was 10, my dog got hit by a car. Actually, it was the ice cream truck.
I just wanted a fudge pop. Man, fudge sickles are the best. Now, Bob's trying to figure out, man, I got to break this news to Helen. What do I do? And he throws all of his briefcase and all of his papers in the trash, but there's a thunk. And a thunk he wasn't expecting. And it's a package that had been dropped off by Mirage, the super of whoring.
Super whores.
You call yourself whores?
Got you again! I knew it!
Jesus.
And it's an encoded message that they will pay him 3 times his annual salary to come to a secluded island and destroy a top secret government robot. In essence. And then the message explodes and sets off the house's sprinkler system. And I also went, this house has a sprinkler system? My house doesn't have I have a smoke alarm.
Yeah, I
And
I
real
found
talk,
that a little odd too.
I really need to check the batteries on it.
It doesn't beep, like just go beep.
It used to. It stopped though, so I figured that was good.
Oh yeah, it fixed itself.
Yeah, it's like, so the check engine light on my car finally turned off.
When you hit that pothole really hard,
I figured it was good.
fixed it. I got a chuckle when the sprinkler system goes off, and then it cuts to the next scene where he's drying all the
He's
books.
blow drying all the books.
Yeah.
I went, man, I don't know what's happening here.
It made me laugh a little bit.
And that's when he says, because Helen's like, you were really distracted. Everything okay? And he's like, yeah, I have to go out of town. The company is sending me to a conference. So he lies. He is a liar. He's a liar and a bad book dryer. But so he now lies instead of telling his wife that he was fired. So now he's doing superhero work on the sly. At least he's getting paid for it.
Yeah, and then this isn't the first time he's lied to his wife. He lies to his wife every time he goes out bowling.
You know what? That's true.
Yeah.
So he's a habitual liar
Yeah.
to his wife.
He lies to his wife, and he lives in the past.
Now, as our resident marriage expert, how well does lying to your wife on the regular work for a marriage?
Well, not twice.
Wait.
Just kidding.
It doesn't. Lying twice doesn't work, or you have learned that it does not work in two different marriages.
Yeah.
Just a blanket yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with the whole relationship shit. It's not for
Wait,
me.
you want to kick it? You want to get the couch back out?
No.
We're listening. We're here to help, Tevis. We're here for you. I can give you so much life advice. Look at me. I am a paragon of success.
And 3 minutes ago, you were like, God, I'm Bob.
First of all, that's in the past. Let it go.
Stop living in the past, Bob.
Stop living in the past, Tevis. We're in the present. And I am here to help you live the best of your abilities. No. Yes? No. Maybe. So Bob goes to this island. It's real shady. It's real. Also, okay.
It's very Bond villainish.
And it's in my notes. I actually really like how they mix superhero and spy movie tropes.
Oh, I do too.
I think it mixes well.
Yeah, I thought
or the way this is done mixes well. And I was digging it.
Yeah, because even Mirage, she's like the
Oh, she's total Bond girl.
total Bond girl.
Yeah, she's totally. Well, she is the super of horror.
Super whores.
You call yourself whores?
So you're right. She is.
It's like pussy galore.
Yeah, she is totally a
God.
Bond girl. And the whole like secluded islands, secret base and
On a volcano.
on an active volcano and super AI robot thing.
If the villain came out and it was Dr. Evil, I would not have been surprised.
Or Dr. No, or any of them. Yeah.
Goldfinger. Ooh.
Well, better than Gold Member.
Gold member.
I was about to do an accent, but I'm not going to do a voice.
I kind of want to hear it now.
I've learned restraint. It's in the past. Let it go. We're in the present. And Mr. Incredible is fighting a giant super robot. It's an advanced AI program that can think on the fly. It will study his moves and automatically learn how to best counter them, which we see in action, and that's cool. And actually, my wife was watching it with me because, again, 9 times out of 10 she watches the movies with me, and actually the whole family was watching this one because we can, And it was like the robot goes to attack and he somersaults over the robot to attack it, and that worked. And then later in the fight, he tries it again. And the robot recognizes it and then immediately grabs him out of the air and beats the shit out of him, right? But then as the fight spills out, because it almost seems like the robot's leading him a little bit, and the fight spills out and they wind up in a magma chamber of the volcano where Mr. Fantastic. Wrong.
Wrong family.
Wrong family of supers.
Yeah.
Hold on. Mr. Incredible. Nailed it. First try. ultimately defeats the robot, hiding inside its like motherboard mainframe and trying to get to him. The robot essentially kills itself. But this is actually really important, or I think it is. And maybe they don't say it. This is purely, I guess, speculative. I felt like the robot was leading him. And like it's the southern end of the island. It's where the volcano is. It's where the magma chambers are. That's where the fight ended up leading to. Because remember, the robot ends up chasing him at one point. And where does it chase him? To the magma chamber.
Okay.
All this was staged to kill a super. Because we find out later, the supervillain who's hiring all these superheroes to fight and test his robot are getting killed by the super robot. Do you know why? Or why I think, and I think the movie hints at it. Do you know why Mr. Incredible wins? And do you know why the fight was at the southern end of the island with the volcano and the robot gets him in the magma chamber? It was programmed to fight Frozone.
Oh.
When they're doing the police scanner and we see that they're being tailed by Mirage, she says, yes, I've located him. But he's with someone. He's still talking to that fat guy.
Yes.
She's tailing Frozone, but realizes he's with Mr. Incredible. And so instead of giving the offer to Frozone, she gives it to Incredible.
You're not. Yeah,
That fight was staged to kill Frozone. It would have got him into the magma pits where he would not have had his ice powers and he would have died.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Because I do remember her saying, you know, I've tracked him down, but he's with this fat guy, and
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, so she's trying to get
talking.
Frozone.
Yeah, she's talking about Frozone.
Yeah, and that's really smart. Like, just it sets it up perfectly to kill him.
Yeah, because it's not about testing the robot. Syndrome, the main bad guy, is trying to kill all the superheroes. So it's under the guise of it's under two. There are two different lies that he is working out here. One is that the story they fed Incredible to get him there. That robot went haywire, please subdue it, we're with the government, blah, 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 blah. And Mirage knows that lie. But then there's the lie to Mirage that they're testing the robot, that they're trying to get it worked out. He doesn't give a shit about. Syndrome does not care about that. Syndrome is trying to kill superheroes. And it's even possible Mirage knows that outright. But I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and assume that Syndrome is working two lies. One to his targets and one to his own people.
Yeah, I think you're right about the lie. She doesn't know. I don't think she knows.
Because we find out she has a conscience.
Yeah, because if she knew that that's what the whole plan was, then she wouldn't have helped Mr. Incredible, I don't think.
Although it does beg, if she was being lied to, it begs the question, does she know the supers are getting killed by the robot? She would almost have to. With her level of involvement as being the face that talks to and recruits and whatever the superheroes.
Yeah.
She would almost have to know, wouldn't she?
Yeah, and she came out of that room with the computer where he found out all of the supers were getting killed.
Yeah.
So she has access to that computer.
So she knows they're dying.
Yeah, so she has to know they're dying. Maybe she thinks it's
like a
just an accident.
Work hazard?
Work hazard, yeah.
Like they knew what they were getting into and they just couldn't deal with it?
Yeah.
Even still, that's pretty fucking cold.
I agree. But the only time she flips on Syndrome when he bets her life.
Yeah.
That Mr. Incredible won't kill her. So maybe she did know.
Man, now we've talked it out. I'm thinking maybe she did. Now it's that he didn't kill her.
And that's the only reason she flipped on him is because she realizes he doesn't care about her life.
Right. And the person that she was okay with getting killed, or one of the many, still cared about her.
Yeah.
Cared enough to not kill her.
Right.
Let me put it that way. Huh.
This movie's kind of deep.
Brad Bird, you bastard.
Writer director.
Brad Bastard Bird.
I'm glad we didn't get a movie with 3 writers.
See? The unlucky 3, man, if a movie has 3 writers, you're in trouble. Now, Bob is successful. He's paid all this money. He spends it to his wife that he got promoted with a big cushy raise, and he buys like a sports car, which does look sweet, by the way.
Oh yeah,
His black road,
nice car.
Yeah, his black sports car. Big fan of that. And he's getting in shape. We see him working out.
He's enjoying his family time.
He's actually
happy.
He is attentive to his kids. He's attentive to his wife, as we see from
multiple times.
All of the butt grabbing scenes and them sneaking off behind Violet's back to go to the bedroom. Going, whoa!
Yeah, he tries to leave a couple of times,
and
to go
she
to work,
just keeps
and
pulling
like,
him back in. Nope, Mama needs some sugar. Now, this is really important to me. Bob starts training. We get his montage, which is actually a really cool training montage, seeing a person with super strength exercise. And he's in a train yard and he's lifting tankers. And it's like, that's cool.
Yeah,
like,
I like that.
What's heavy and what is enough weight that he can just go to and use to enhance his already super strength? It's got to be train carriages and stuff. That's cool.
I like that a lot.
That's a cool touch. But we see him, he's measuring his waist at the beginning, and it's like 50 inches, something like that. He gets down to his lean, mean fighting shape, his peak like he was when he was young, 36 inches. That really bums me out because my waist is 36 inches. And I do not have the cut shape of Mr. Incredible. And that really is a bummer.
He skipped on leg day, though.
They all did.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We see him training his legs.
I saw that. And
we see him working his legs out. It's just like the animators don't know how to draw legs.
It's like it's his first time doing legs. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think he skipped leg day because we see him exercise his legs. I think that it's the stylistic choice.
I agree. Yeah.
But no, he does have these little toothpicks.
He does.
Tika, 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 tika. But life is good. He is ready to go. But in the initial fight with the robot, his suit is torn. So he goes to old colleague Edna Mode.
I love Edna Mode.
Everyone loves Edna Mode.
She is so funny. I love when she first answers the video call at the door. She's like, "My God, you've gotten fat."
And he's slimmed down.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's Brad Bird.
That is Brad Bird.
I love that. I guess they went to try to hire Lily Tomlin for the voice, but she heard Brad Bird's version and she's like, "What are you hiring me for? You already have it." And I just thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's funny. So Edna not only fixes the old suit, but makes him a brand new one, which is where we get that dashing red and black, incredible the suit. Which is a good looking suit. The art on that is on point. The design is on point. That's a good looking super suit.
Very nice.
No capes.
No capes.
No
Not
capes.
at all.
Because capes will just, and then she proceeds to tell Mr. Incredible who wanted a cape about all these superheroes who died because of their capes. No capes.
I love that part.
They only lead to death. Now, to be fair, I feel like if Mr. Incredible had a cape and he all of a sudden was in one of these situations, he would be strong enough to just tear his cape.
Possibly.
If his cape is so super, if Edna made it so strong that even Mr. Incredible couldn't tear it, why is she making the cape so strong? Then again, Batman's old cape used to be his shield from bullets, so...
True. Well, maybe she could attach it by Velcro. Just little Velcro patches on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just comes loose like a clip-on tie.
Gross. If you wear a clip-on tie, learn how to tie a basic Windsor knot. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. You can watch YouTube videos on it if you need to.
That's how I learned.
Same.
So, Edna makes him a new suit. Life is good. But Helen finds a silver hair. They call it blonde. That shit's silver. Blonde my ass.
Oh, on his suit.
On his suit.
Okay.
Not his super suit, his regular suit.
Yes.
And now she thinks he's cheating on her. as she answers the phone discreetly because Bob's being weird and overhears him having a phone conversation with a woman that she wants to meet with him, get here as quick as you can. And then he immediately tells his wife he's headed out of town on another conference. And now she went, oh my God, midlife crisis. He bought the car. He got in shape again. He's doing all this stuff to impress another woman.
Yeah, and when he's in the car getting ready to leave, and she's, looking at him through the window and is like, okay, well, have a good conference. I love you. Man, the way it's delivered and just the look on the character's face, she's legitimately scared and kind of heartbroken.
Yeah.
And man, I felt for her so bad. And he's not doing anything, obviously, but
well, I mean, he is, but he's not doing that.
He's not doing that.
Yeah.
But I really did not like him at that moment.
Right.
And I felt so bad for her.
Yeah. So she starts crying to Edna, who has no time for couples drama, and slaps the shit out of her with a rolled up newspaper.
You are Elastigirl! My God, pull yourself together! What will you do? Is this a question? You will show him you remember that he is Mr. Incredible, and you will remind him who you are.
But we learned that Edna went ahead and made super suits for the whole family. Ultimately, they end up using a built-in tracking device on the suit. They learn Bob's location, and Helen decides, F this, I'm Elastigirl, I'm putting the suit on, and I'm going to go find my husband, and I'm either going to rescue him, or I'm going to murder him. He either needs to be rescued, or he will need to be rescued. What's the line she says to the kids? Is Dad in trouble? He either is in trouble, or he will be.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But the kids also sneak on the plane, so now the whole family is on a plane to the secret island. Bob is in the middle of round 2 with the new and improved Superbot, and it's programmed to fight Mr. Incredible, and it beats him quickly. But Syndrome needs to gloat, because Syndrome was years and years ago was the president of his fan club. He was a little boy, and he was Mr. Incredible's biggest fan.
It's Incrediboy.
He's Incrediboy. No, your name is Buddy. Go home, Buddy.
Incrediboy!
You're not affiliated with me.
But he had a knack for invention.
The moment we find out it's Buddy from the beginning of the movie, man, that was he's such a good villain.
You like that reveal?
I did like that reveal a lot. It made sense. It connected to the beginning of the movie. And it never felt like it was forced in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And I could legitimately see, Incrediboy was a huge fan. It's almost like Never Meet Your Heroes.
Right.
And he met his hero, and it crushed him.
Right. Because Mr. Incredible works alone.
Yes.
Bob is captured, and then the plane with the family is shot down.
Okay, I want to touch base on this a little bit.
Okay. Let's do it.
So we talk a lot about cutting characters out that don't forward the story, or even if they are kind of help the story a little bit, but they could be cut out easily and replaced with something better. Do it.
Yeah.
So originally, the guy that Helen calls on the phone, her friend Snug,
yeah.
Yeah. He was originally supposed to be the pilot of the plane.
Okay.
The original idea of it was, and he was supposed to die. And the idea for it was to show the severity of this mission that her and the kids are going to, that they can die at any time, and the people that they're going to fight don't care. So when the plane gets blown up and that fuselage slams into the water, and that shot, paranoia set in for me on this shot, and it still does every time I watch it, where the camera pans up and she's in the water looking down, and you see it just kind of slowly disappearing. Snug was supposed to be in that fuselage.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I guess Brad Bird had wrote that with him in mind for that reason. And a bunch of people came to him and was like, we could get rid of him, just have Helen fly the plane, and it will up the tension because she is the mother of the children. She's in control of the plane. If she screws up, it's her fault. Not it,
And I agree with that.
yeah. So that's what they did. And I think it works much better.
Yeah. Because as we get into with their dialogue and the way they do their action scenes, because when they make it to the island, so okay, hold on. Before we get there, plane explodes, they hit the water, they survive the crash. Elastigirl shapes herself into a boat, and then Dash, holding on to the back, because he's super speed, kicks his legs basically as a motor.
Yeah.
I actually really dug that. Like, I thought that was cool. This movie does a really good job of unique, fun little combo of powers. Like,
Oh yeah, and it's
like when Dash and Violet make the hamster ball. I'm super in on that.
Yeah,
I love the
absolutely.
hamster ball. That's awesome.
yeah. I love that they do it multiple times with different characters together, and
Yeah.
it just
Even something as simple as the very end, Jack's falling, and so Helen turns herself into like a spear javelin shape, and Bob hucks her. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and it makes it feel like there's not a character that's wasted.
yeah. But so they make the boat, they get to the island, they end up finding a little cave where they can get rest a little and warm and dry. And Helen tells the kids, you remember those cartoons you watched on Saturday morning? These bad guys are not like those bad guys. They will not show restraint just because they're kids. Just because you're kids. They will kill you. So going back to your point about getting rid of Snug, I agree with mom flying the plane, and that also ties her hands as far as keeping her kids safe. She can't be back there helping them with their powers or their suits or shielding them
Absolutely.
because she has to pilot the plane. And so there is that heightened level of tension. I think that's right. I think getting rid of Snug was the right call. And then you adapt your screenplay around that idea, and now we get that little bit of dialogue that there was a good chance wasn't there originally when Snug was there. But it gets the point across. And I like that little conversation between mom and the kids. And then, yeah, so it gets rid of an unnecessary character. It gets rid of an unnecessary character death, which is especially important for a kids movie that's already towing that PG line.
I agree.
So yeah, I think that editing I think that was the right call.
Yeah, and it also gives you, because there's a moment on the plane where the missiles are closing in. Helen's trying to pilot this plane, and she is kind of yelling at Violet to put a force field around the plane.
Mm-hmm.
All the while, through the whole beginning of the movie, she's done nothing but tell them to not use their powers. And now she's screaming at her to use her powers.
Yeah.
And Violet, the poor girl, she's like super confused and doesn't know how to do it. So Violet feels like she kind of failed her family a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Because she wasn't able to do it. The plane blew up, and she even says that in the
they have have a
cave.
really heartfelt mother-daughter heart-to-heart conversation. They had walked away. So Helen gives the warning to the kids, tells them, wait here, I'm gonna look for your father. If anything happens, use your powers as much as you want and protect each other and yourselves. She goes to leave, and then Violet follows, so the Dash is out of earshot. And they get this really nice mother-daughter heart-to-heart that I really enjoyed. She's
Me
like, Mom, I'm sorry I didn't. And she's like, no, sweetheart, I shouldn't have put that pressure on you, because we as parents can do that or do that with expectation versus reality. You know what I mean? It's so easy for us as parents to inadvertently expect too much and put too much on our kids without realizing we're doing it in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, it's another very real, relatable family moment.
There's a lot of that in this, and the parenting in this I feel is really, really good.
Yeah,
Like-
the writing is so genuine.
Yeah, just the reaction that Helen has or Bob has as a parent, like in the cave when she's trying to tell them something about using their powers, and they're like, "But you've told us not to use our powers," and she gets all upset a little bit. She's like, "I know what I said,"
Yeah.
and then she's like, puts her fist up. She's like, "Oh, okay, hang on, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
And, it's very,
Got frustrated.
very parent-like.
Yeah, very relatable.
Yes.
No, the family dynamic is so well written and performed in this movie, which is what sells it. If these moments didn't hit right, we wouldn't care about our characters.
Right.
If we don't care, then what the fuck is this movie?
Yeah, what's the point?
So Helen breaks into the secret lair. We get to see a lot of her elasticy powers. When she gets stuck in the multiple doors,
That's so awesome.
her legs stuck in the one door, so she stretches her body out to get that guard's key, but then another set of doors, so now like her torso is completely stretched like a rope and going across this hallway. Then her arm gets caught in an elevator. There's a point she's in like 4 segments.
And that guard is in the elevator, and all it's just her hand.
Yeah.
And she like starts touching him everywhere.
And like
oh,
feels where his
this
face
is your face.
is.
Okay, wham.
And then, well, she's got to aim,
Yeah,
she feels around
absolutely.
for where his face is and then knocks him out and gets the
Such a good little.
No, my
gag.
favorite are the 2 guards on the cart just talking, and then they get clotheslined by her body.
Yeah, and I like the one that he's poking at her leg.
Like, what the hell is
And
this?
she kicks him, I think.
Yeah, she kicks him.
Kicks him in the face. But then he opens up the door, and her leg and ass come
Take
and
out 2
take
guards.
out 2 guards with that big delicious booty.
Oh my. Now, and then we get the money shot for all the dads in the audience. So she's back together. She's walking. There's a reflective mirror like surface. And she looks, and then she like checks her butt out in the suit. And I'm like, there's the shot for dad.
There it is.
There's the shot for all the dads out there. Pixar has a history of their ladies being thick, having ample backside. I appreciate it.
Baby got back.
Dated reference.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
is. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Mix-a-Lot. All right. So the kids end up getting discovered. They're using their powers, and now they're actually really exploring what their powers can do. Because Violet she's messed with force fields, but not much. Dash knew he was fast, but he didn't know he was fast enough to run on water.
I love this part where he's running as fast as he can through the forest, trying to get away from these spinning
Death
chips.
hover vehicles.
God, they're
Yeah.
so cool, actually.
They're super cool.
But
yeah.
it reminded me a lot of Return of the Jedi, the speeder bikes,
Yeah.
because he even does the grabbing the vine like that
Mhm.
Ewok did, swings up. But he's running and he's like, okay, I'm going as fast as I've ever gone. And then he sees the water coming and he gets that look on his face like, oh crap, here we go, it's over.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts and he's like, oh shit. Oh yeah. And he gets super excited. He takes off even faster.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, he gets even more confident.
Yeah.
Violet's, she's always been able to turn invisible. She's doing that, but then Dash is about to get shot, and she summons an orb of kinetic energy or whatever psionic force field she's able to create, and it blocks the bullets. And Dash is like, "How are you doing that?" She's like, "I don't know." But and that's the hamster ball.
Yeah.
And so Dash realizes he can run like a hamster in a ball and power this orb. And so now they're running together, with the shield, and then they're moving. And that's really awesome. Now, Dash gets into several moments of fisticuffs with henchmen. And Dash getting rocked in the face by an adult is never not funny to me. That is the funniest shit. Is Dash is boxing this guy, and then he sees the cliff that they're about to crash into come up. He's like, uh-oh, and the guy's like, haha, gotcha, and just blasts him full power in the face. I'm like, yeah, take that, you little shit.
I wonder if he has a quick healing ability.
We can hope, because there's no bruise, even though he should definitely have a black eye.
Definitely should have some bruises.
And then Violet's getting attacked, so Dash runs and stops him, and then he gets jacked again. I could just watch a montage of Dash getting punched in the face. I don't know why. I think it speaks to some deeper issues I might have.
You can intercut that with the Waynes getting shot.
Yes! You know, those try not to laugh compilations. It would just be those clips, and I would fail miserably. Woo. So, the supers they meet Syndrome. He monologues a bunch, and he unleashes his robot on the city. The plan is unleash the robot on the city. No one can stop it. He shows up as an air quote superhero and stops the robot himself and becomes the new hero that everyone worships.
Hero syndrome.
But he's Syndrome.
There's a term
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Well, there's hero syndrome too, where you create like a scenario that only you can fix, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, look at this!" Yeah. So yeah.
To be fair, I think Syndrome suffers from multiple syndromes,
and he might have a little bit of elephantitis in his head,
in his face, specifically his forehead and jaw.
Yeah, just a tad bit.
Even without superpowers, no super strength whatsoever, if he were to headbutt the average person, they would die.
He's got a strong ass neck.
It looks like Road Warrior Hawk. There's a deep reference for everyone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, kids, Google Road Warriors.
Oh, shit.
So then the superhero, the Incredibles, with the help of Mirage, who's turned, she's a good guy now, fly a rocket to the city to stop the robot. And we get so they're on a rocket, but the only way that they could carry everyone is to use Elastigirl as rope, essentially,
basically,
to tie this Winnebago to the rocket. And now we have this iconic classic family relatable road trip scene of Dad is in the driver's seat, the kids are in the back. Dad, are we there yet? We get there when we get there.
I love when they're finally on the ground driving, and he's like, "Okay, he's in the financial district. I should take this. I should take 7. Don't take 7." Like, well, where the hell should I go?
Yeah, take Sunset or whatever. No, Sunset leads me downtown. You asked me how to get there, and I'm telling you how to get there.
Yeah, I definitely have been in those situations.
In the financial district. Which exit do I take?
Traction Avenue.
That'll take me downtown. I take 7, don't I?
Don't take 7!
Great! We missed it!
You asked me how to get there, and I told you. Exit at Traction.
That'll take me downtown.
He's coming up. Get in the right lane.
We won't exit at Traction!
You're gonna miss it!
This is a fun fact. Pretty much any time we do driving, my wife drives. When she was in college, she was the one everyone trusted the most to drive, so she ferried her friends around everywhere. So she was already kind of used to driving anyway. Her father suffers really badly from backseat driving. She also suffers really badly from backseat driving. And some of the biggest arguments we've ever had stem from her backseat driving, and it irritates the shit out of me. So to forego this problem, just let her drive. And I've actually been hit multiple times by people going, "You let your wife drive? You call yourself a man?" And I went, "Yeah, because driving has nothing to do with anything, you caveman." The fuck? But no, I have been hit multiple, or you'll see it, like we'll drive up somewhere and people will like give us a double take because it's like, "Oh, the woman is driving." I'm like, yeah,
she can also vote and have her own credit card.
What?
Holy shit!
Oh my god! Well, no, she can't have her own credit card because, but that's a financial responsibility issue, not a women's rights issue.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no.
But yeah, she does vote. She does all kinds of shit.
I could see.
She goes out without male supervision.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, people sometimes give a side eye. But yeah, multiple times I've been hit with, "You're going to let her drive?" And I went, Yeah.
Stupid.
And it takes every ounce of my self-control not to just break into a tirade on these people. And she appreciates, I think, that I don't.
Just rock them in the face like they're Dash. Wham!
Oh, oh, bam! You little bastard. So they get there, they start fighting the robot. Oh, I remember what I was going to bring up. We're talking about body counts.
Yes.
Because Mr. Incredible didn't let that guy kill himself. I did not keep a running tally, and because I didn't know I had to. I wasn't prepared, but now I wish I had. Oh, do you have a body count?
I do.
Okay. Before you say anything, I don't know your notes. I didn't know you have a body count. If I'm not mistaken, Dash has the highest body count. Does he not?
No. Bob has the highest. But
wait, are you talking about people he just beats up too? I'm talking confirmed kills, which mostly are explosions.
No, from the I didn't actually break it down that way, but I did go to a website that showed the actual breakdown, and I think Bob was leading with 9.
9 kills?
Yeah.
Or 9 people defeated?
9
Those
kills.
are different things.
Kills. But as far as there's 24 humans that die and 21 supers.
Right.
So, damn.
Yeah. Okay, for some reason, I'd have to go back and do my own count. I know Bob fights more people, but I think Dash either kills or causes the death of the most people. But your notes are, I'm sure they're right. It just seems like every time Dash is around, people explode.
Yeah, because they're driving those hover things and slam into trees or each other. And,
yeah, or whatever. And I'm like, God damn, I could think of like 4 for sure. I think I'm like, yep, Dash just killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, no, here it is right here. Kill counts. Buddy, 23. Bob Har, 9. Violet, 1. It doesn't have any for... So, yeah, maybe I don't think I agree with that one.
So they're not counting those explosions as Dash killing someone. No, Dash was involved in those. I think Dash has the highest kill count.
Yeah, I'm almost inclined to believe that because he's not even on this list.
And we see Bob spare those henchmen all the time. Like, he'll knock them out, but he doesn't kill them. I think 9, I think that might be a miscount too. Or what we would deem a miscount.
Yeah, I don't think that's correct.
No, I think Dash has the highest kill count.
But as far as a kill count total, it's 24 humans and 21 supers.
Yeah, but see, I'm not kidding because we don't see that. I'm saying, like, on screen, we see Dash kill like 5 people.
I agree. Because I would consider the ones that crash into each other, chasing him and crash into trees. He's doing that. I mean, he's running
Dash is
from
involved. Yeah, it's indirect, but it's still, they're his numbers.
If he's not in the lead, he's close second.
He's close second.
Yeah,
no doubt. So Syndrome is defeated by his super smart AI robot because it's like, hey, why are my limbs falling off? Oh, an external power source is causing this. Oh, he's wearing it on his wrist. Let's F him up. And so then the robot proceeds to F him up. And he runs like a bitch. And kind of brains himself on a building and knocks himself out.
Smacks into that wall, and he's done for now.
And so then, now we have the Incredibles versus the robot, and then Frozone shows up, which we have to talk about the Frozone scene.
Oh, honey, where is my super suit?
What?
Where is my super suit?
Why do you need to know?
I love that she's like, we've had this plans for 2 months. You're not backing out now. But he's just like, oh, God.
Tell me where my suit is, woman. You can't talk about the Incredibles without, honey, where is my super suit? Why? Because the city is in danger. Sounds like my evening is in danger. We had this dinner planned for 2 months. You tell me where my suit is, woman. The greater good is at stake. I am your wife. I am the greatest good you are ever gonna have.
For some reason, I remember seeing this in the trailer. And I could be wrong, but I think I did see it in the trailer, and that sold me on the movie.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Where is my suit? Tell me where my suit is, woman. I'm pretty sure that was in the trailer. But Frozone joins the fight. So now we see all four Incredibles plus Frozone teaming together to fight the robot. And I was really into this scene too. This was cool.
Me too. And again, they did a good job of making sure every character had something to do that made sense. And not just something to do for something to do, but it made sense in the moment.
Yeah, it wasn't like I always go back to like the original like Power Rangers where those like clay golem enemy things would attack them one at a time, but then all the other ones would just be in the background like gyrating, like just like wasted motion to just make the screen look active as they came at them one at a time.
Yeah, my favorite part of this whole fight was Mr. Incredible's in the background holding this giant arm.
The robot's one of its claw arms, yeah.
And the family and Frozone are in the foreground trying to figure out what button to push. And Bob is just in the background, like getting thrown around because the arms open up, or he's trying to grab it and hold it properly, but
then the boosters
take off, and he's fighting it, and that made me laugh.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Actually, one of my favorite, I have a lot of moments from this fight scene I really like. Dash is in trouble, and the robot's gonna just like crush him. So Violet gets over there and throws up the shield. So the robot's trying to crush them. Arms aren't working, so it positions its whole mass over them and just bonsai drops like Yokozuna. And the shield holds, but it cracks the asphalt of the road, creating this divot where the shield was. And it was so much exertion, Violet kind of knocks her out for a minute. And here comes the robot again, but in swoops Mr. Incredible with the save, on his back, using his arms and legs to hold the robot up, giving Elastigirl enough time to stretch underneath and pull them out. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a really cool sequence too.
I
love how Frozone throws his ice.
It's so cool.
It is so cool.
I liked Mrs. Incredible Elastigirl getting the manhole cover and then wrapping her arm around the light post like a slingshot and slingshotting a manhole cover into the robot's turret. That was cool.
Yeah, and takes it out. There were a ton of little bitty moments in here where, because I kept thinking too, and I'd seen this movie a few times before it, but it's like, what the hell is Elastigirl gonna do against this robot? And then she does the manhole thing. I was like, oh, that's smart as hell.
Frozone freezes all the ground underneath it, so it's tripping. So she stretches herself across those light poles like a tripwire, and actually succeeds in helping Frozone trip it. Like, that's teamwork. It's ingenious thinking on the show, the writing staff's part of like, okay, how do we want this fight scene to work? Everyone's powers. How do we keep everyone included and dynamic? Mr. Incredible gets the controller, but the robot's coming, so he hucks it like a foot, because we see him and Dash play football together, playing catch earlier in the movie. Go long! And he hucks it as hard, and Dash just starts gunning for it. He's running across water. He's dodging traffic. He gets it. The robot's like, that's... Okay. I have a question.
Okay.
How in the holy shit does Brad Bird and the people behind The Incredibles know how to design a multiple superhero fight scene to incorporate everyone usefully, dynamically, and in a way that is both entertaining and makes sense from a storytelling aspect? I was not confused at any point in time in this fight. It told a cohesive story of just this fight scene. We have our heroes, we have our villain, we have our goal being the controller to shut the robot down. Everyone's after it. How did the Incredibles get this right and Black Adam fail so monumentally? These fights, compare the big any of the multi-superhero fight scenes to Black Adam to any of the multi-superhero fight scenes of The Incredibles, and it is not a fair fight. This is a grown man punching Dash in the face.
Well, I will say it like this. Brad Bird and his team have talent.
Oh my God, I was drinking a water. I was drinking my water. Oh, I'm dying.
And the plagiaristic clowns that wrote Black Adam do not have talent. That's why they had to plagiarize.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not sure why they didn't plagiarize The Incredibles.
Incredibles.
I mean,
Actually, that would have helped.
You took things from every other superhero.
Man, there was Star
sci-fi,
Wars, there was Lord of the Rings, there was
Terminator 2.
There was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Although that was a reference. Like, to be fair,
Laura Croft and
dumb.
Back
We're not
to the
talking about that
Future.
shit movie. But no, this fight scene was cool. It's entertaining. You can keep with it. It's dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was never a moment where one of the supers did their power and I was like, well, that doesn't really work, or that's kind of dumb. Every time they did it, what they had to do, I thought it was spot on.
Yeah, it made sense.
It did make sense.
But they ultimately defeat the robot by torpedoing its own spinning death claw into its mainframe.
Into its heart.
Into its cold robotic heart.
I was very impressed when the robot gets taken out and falls into the water. I was really impressed with the water effects.
Oh yeah, it looked good.
Yeah,
It looked real
I've
good.
tried to do water effects on different 3D programs.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's tough to make it look good, and this is 20 freaking years ago.
Well, and now, because like water simulations are so tough, there are entire programs dedicated to just water simulations.
Absolutely.
Like that's what this program, that's what it does.
Yep.
It does water and like smoke, right? Like I can't think of what it's called.
I can't either.
But yeah, 20 years ago, before the existence of those dedicated programs, at least I think it would be pre those dedicated programs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't even imagine what it would take to make that happen.
Yeah, because the wave looked believable, and yeah, it looked really good.
So Syndrome, realizing he's defeated, is making one last play to get even and goes to the Incredibles' home and kidnaps their baby, Jack Jack, the youngest member of the Parr family.
So when the family gets back to the house and they realize, because Helen's talking to or listening to her messages, and she hears one from the babysitter, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for the agency to come with my relief," and she's like, "I never called anybody."
Yeah,
and they run into the house, and they do almost like a handheld camera shot that's following them into the house.
Yeah,
that is such a good moment. And they walk in, they run in, and there he is. Syndrome is in there. Man, that the way that's shot and the darkness of the inside of the house, it's kind of creepy.
And it adds to the tension.
It does. Adds really well to that tension.
But his plan is he's going to steal Jack Jack, raise him essentially as his own, and he'll be Syndrome's sidekick. His boy ward that Mr. Incredible never let Syndrome be. And then he essentially escapes. He succeeds. But unfortunately for Mr. Syndrome, up to this point, Jack Jack seemingly had no powers because they had not developed yet. Then we learn that actually, and if you have Disney Plus, I'm not trying to get you started on a rant, but they were trying to come up with a bunch of content, for their streaming service. So they got a lot of their teams back together from their different movies to create shorts.
Oh, really?
And so there are 2 shorts. One of them were written and directed by Brad Bird. The other one was executively produced by Brad Bird. So he still had his hands in it.
Yeah.
But there's one short for The Incredibles, and there's a short for The Incredibles 2. And they're hilarious. So the short for The Incredibles is called Jack Jack Attack. and it's what is happening while Kari is babysitting, and it's fucking hilarious.
I think that's on the Blu-ray.
Oh, is it?
I believe so.
Okay.
'Cause I've seen it.
Yeah, because we learn that Jack has multiple powers.
Yeah, he has all the powers, it seems
Yeah.
like.
And then in Incredibles 2, where the family learns Jack has powers, it's called Auntie Edna, and we learn what Jack and Auntie Edna do when Bob drops Jack off for a night, essentially, so Edna can babysit and he can finally get some sleep. And so we see what Jack and Edna are up to all night, and that's really funny too.
I'll have to check
those are funny. But we learned, and unfortunately for Syndrome, he learns Jack has all the powers. And actually in Incredibles 2, we learned his power is he has all the powers. He can't control it yet. But I'm waiting for the Incredibles 3 where it's just Jack, and he's the strongest being in the known universe.
He turns into a villain.
God, I hope not.
Yeah.
That would really bum me out. I'm not going to lie.
That would.
So, like, he's like, this strange man is taking me, so he bursts into flames, and then Syndrome's like, oh my God, and then he turns into metal, and he's too heavy, and then he turns into his demon baby form, and, like, chews off one of the rocket boots. Basically, Syndrome is like, oh God, I don't know what's happening, and he drops Jack, and he bows out. That's when Mr. Incredible throws Elastigirl like a javelin, so she's because they're like, throw something at him to stop him. Mr. Incredible's like, I can't, I might hit Jack. Jack starts to fall. Throw me, Bob, throw me. Throws her, she catches Jack, and then turns herself into a parachute, which we've seen her do a few times, and that's cool. That's ingenious too. And so then it's like he's getting away. And so Mr. Incredible just throws his sports car and takes the engine out of Syndrome's plane.
Yeah, but then Syndrome gets sucked into an engine because of the cape.
The joke almost. So Syndrome has a brutal death.
Yeah.
It's like Disney's Tarzan level brutal. When Clayton hangs himself and the lightning flashes and you see his silhouette swinging back and forth against the tree.
About that.
That's a brutal one too.
I totally forgot about that.
So Syndrome gets a brutal death, but hear me out. One of his rocket boots had been compromised, and he couldn't really fly. Cape or no cape, I think he was going into that engine.
Oh, I believe so. Yeah, they just had that.
But it was a callback to no capes.
A callback to it. Yeah.
To no capes.
But yeah, he gets sucked into the engine, and then the thing blows up.
It lands on the house.
Yeah.
Explodes, and they're like, well,
damn,
that happened. And then that kid on the tricycle's back because he's like, just waiting to see something cool happen, and there's an explosion.
Man, that was totally wicked!
All right. And then the Underminer. Oh, well, then we see them embracing the fact that they are supers. They have powers. As a family, they're going to be supers, even though it's against the law, but making it work better for their everyday life. Dash is in track. Violet being able to use her powers, learn them, control them. She gains confidence she didn't have before. And she talks to the boy she likes, Tony, and gets a date. And the family is back together as a healthy family unit. As, it's a nice happy ending. And then the Underminer attacks. And I wrote this line because I actually really like it. I am the Underminer. I am always beneath you, but nothing is beneath me. And I'm like, man, that works on several levels. I like all of it. What a great line. For like a cheesy villain to have. I like that.
I like that they got, what's his name?
John Ratzenberger.
Yes. I couldn't remember his name.
He's in all of them.
He is in all of them. And I love that they got him, even though it was at the very end and I was like, where is he? Where is he?
You're waiting for him.
Yeah.
No, John Ratzenberger will be in every Pixar movie until he dies.
Yeah.
I think that's even worked out. Like, I think
that's
the paperwork's worked out on that.
Let's keep going.
So I think final thoughts. I think we're there. So, opening things up, ratings. IMDb, 8. Solid 8. Rotten Tomatoes, 97%.
Damn.
So, you're looking at the board where we have our highest rated movies. I did some quick research based on what we've done on the show. The Incredibles is our second overall highest rated animated movie and our 4th overall rated movie total.
Really?
Incredibles is number 4. Number 3 is Jaws.
Okay.
Number 2, Into the Spider-Verse. Number 1, Godzilla -1. And some of these movies are separated by a decimal point. Like this got an 8.4, this got an 8.5, and that's some of these orders are just split by a decimal point. But yeah, I was like, man, 97. I thought of Godzilla and Into the Spider-Verse because those are the only 3 movies now that have a 97 Rotten Tomatoes. So looking at Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, those are our 4 highest rated movies in order, 4-1.
Okay.
Incredibles coming in hot. 97, though, seems high. I think it's 90s, but I'm thinking like 2, 3. Definitely higher than 8. 8's too low.
Definitely higher than 8.
8's too low. It should be a 9. On a scale of 1 to 10, it should be a 9. What do you think?
I don't understand IMDb. They seem to always get it wrong.
It's almost impressive.
Yes.
At this point.
But I kind of agree with you. Like 93, 94, maybe. 97 is...
That seems a smidge high.
It is pretty high. But I think it's also because this was something different from Pixar. They kind of took a chance.
And it worked. Yeah.
So they might have just kind of a nice breath of fresh air type of deal.
I get that. But I don't know. Like, I'm not going to 8 out of 10 or 8.0, whatever. That's too low. Rotten Tomatoes, I'm just going to debate a little bit. That seems a little high for me, but I would rather any movie, honestly, be rated a little too high than too low.
Oh, I agree with that, yeah.
So that seems a little high to me. Review time. Hollywood Reporter. Red hot and very funny action adventure that involves an entire family of superheroes. And that quote is just as informational as the rest of the review was.
Oh.
There was not a lot to take away here. Hollywood Reporter did not hurt themselves thinking of a review for this movie.
Movie good.
Movie good. Ebert.
Okay.
3.5 stars.
Damn.
And actually, he said something very similar to what you said earlier.
Uh-oh.
Here's another example of Pixar's mastery of popular animation. Because again, banger after banger after banger, blockbuster after blockbuster, printing money at will.
Okay, good job, Ebes. Damn, I think this is 2 in a row, isn't it? With Ebert with 3.5.
Yeah, it is.
Because Ghostbusters, I think, was 3.5.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Let me hold on. Check's notes. Ghostbusters was 3.5. Green Mile was 3.5.
Oh,
that's 3 in a row. And then Thor 1.5. And then
then Black Adam 3.5.
Wait, hold on. I've got it here. Hold on. Everyone, shut up.
3.5 turds.
Oh wait, iRobot. That was 2. That was a 2-star. Black Adam. Did I go too far? No, I'm just curious because I'll either laugh or I'll get real angry. Oh, Black Adam was one we did not have.
Oh, because
an Ebert on
Ebes.com didn't review it or something.
Or that's not the one I went with either way. My final thoughts. You know what? As a movie that I've seen repeatedly in a fairly short amount of time, this isn't one of the ones that grates my nerves. I still enjoy this movie. I have since the first time I watched it, and even after many viewings, I still do. The writing and directing are superb. The story it's fun and bombastic, it's action-packed, but most importantly, it's genuine. The levity works, the family is real and it's believable, and their issues, both regular mild-mannered people issues and their superhero issues, are still shockingly prevalent and relatable, especially the political stuff. And it just works on every level. You feel for these characters, you feel for their relationship with each other and the relationship they have as a family. You want them to succeed. Their jokes are not bust a gut funny. You're going to smile and chuckle and look at whatever nearest family member that joke relates to the most, as Bob and Helen argue with each other about what exit to take, and I just turn and give that deadpan stare at my wife, and she smiles and tells me to be quiet, right? Like it's that kind of humor. And honestly, I think I almost enjoy that more sometimes than the bust a gut kind of humor, because it's easier to share that enjoyment with people you're close to. So for me, The Incredibles, 100% worth the ticket price. Watch it yourself, watch it with your friends, watch it with your family especially. And just what an enjoyable movie from start to finish.
I'm very shocked that we haven't gotten some sort of a family superhero movie from the MCU, but I absolutely love this family. The way that the characters, their superpowers are related to their actual character. Like the father, he's supposed to be a strong person, a strong man, and Mr. Incredible is a strong super strength. The mom, she's always constantly being stretched in every direction. So this character Helen stretches. The awkward teenage girl who just kind of is a little socially awkward. So her superpower is invisibility. The 10-year-old boy who's just they're all balls of energy, and and Dash has got super speed. It fits perfectly. The characters are extremely likable. They're, like you said, they're very relatable. The writing in this, I felt for the characters. I felt like they were actually in peril majority of the time in their battles with the bad guys. It's weird what good writing can do. And I'm looking at you three Black Adam plagiarists.
Wait, what's libel? How many times can we say shit like this before it becomes a legal issue? I was thinking about that the other day.
I'll deal with that email when I get it.
To hell with it. We're not that important.
No, not yet. You said the comedy, it works well because it doesn't feel like it's just jokes after joke after joke. It's situations that the characters get into, and it's their reaction to those situations. And that I feel too, it's almost better than just joke after joke after joke. The animation holds up really well. Yeah, I had a great time with this. Even I probably haven't watched this movie in probably 10 years. Check it out. It's worth the ticket price.
Give me the hat. Hat time. All right. Looking in the hat. Looking in the hat. Looking in the hat. Looking in the hat. All right. Are you ready?
Do it.
I don't know if I'm ready. What is it? Oh, damn it. What? This had to have been you. I forgot this movie existed until right now. This had to have been you. The Last Samurai, with everyone's favorite great white savior, Tom Cruise. My favorite samurai movies often depict the last samurai being a white man from America.
Isn't that's how it works, isn't it?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Pretty sure most samurais were colonials.
I bet Sarah put this in the hat.
Sarah movie! Sarah, damn it! Quit throwing off the vibe of our hat. We've had a decent string of bangers. What, 3? That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we'll see if it continues.
I haven't watched this in forever.
You're giving away our content. That's next week's episode. We're not talking about our histories.
So the last time I watched
We're diving into it blind. Get ready. So Tom Cruise, he looks like a Civil War general, but I don't know if that makes a lot of sense because I don't know what year this movie takes place. And then he becomes a samurai. And I'm like, why is Tom Cruise a samurai? Reasons. And he ultimately, I'm assuming, becomes the final samurai or the last samurai.
He becomes a jet pilot.
No, you're crossing the streams, and that doesn't work.
He moonlights as a
bartender who fantasizes about driving race cars.
Yes,
what do you got? Are we just going to do all of them?
Absolutely.
You know, speaking of Tom Cruise, I saw a post that made me laugh, and it was like a picture of Tom Cruise on the set of Mission Impossible 8. And one of the comments was 8. I'm beginning to think that these missions are in fact possible. Like, that's the stupid humor I'm here for. That's funny to me. I'm starting to think these missions are possible if there's been 8 of them. They bring up a good point.
Yeah,
but we're not talking about Mission Impossible. We're talking about The Last Samurai. And my history with this movie is I have none. So since we're just spoiling content. But all right, do you have anything else, good sir?
I do not. Go watch The Incredibles.
Go watch The Incredibles. And then follow it up with Jack Attack. And then watch Incredibles 2. And then follow that up with Auntie Edna. Get the full story. Have a good time.
Sounds good.
All right, everyone. I'm Jake. That's Tevis. We're Ticket Price. This has been The Incredibles. Thank you for listening. Tune in next week as we will look into the Tom Cruise classic, The Last Samurai. Please be sure to let us know if you got bingo. And as always, be good to each other out there. Good night. I drank 2 bottles of water. I have to pee so bad. I have to